Welcome back. We are here to finish up section 2-4, talking about linear equations. As a quick review, 3 ways we can write equations. First, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We want to use this because we know the slope, we know the y-intercept, and it is really good for graphing. Makes it really easy. You want to make sure you're writing this down in your notes, so you will be quizzed on this. Point slope form. We use this because we know a slope and we know a point. It makes it easy to switch it into the other form. One we haven't talked about too much is standard form. A times x plus b times y equals c, where a, b, and c are numbers. We like to use this when we have 2 different rates. And we'll work with this more in the coming months. So something like a word problem is, student tickets are $4, adult tickets are $8. We have 2 rates there. One's 4, one's 8 per ticket. Or things are different values, 2 different values. We would use this form. And again, we saw how we changed from standard form into points or slope-intercept form. So maybe we can graph it easier. So keep these things in mind. We are going to cover a word problem. It is in your notes. And I'm going to read and kind of walk us through this. Whenever you're thinking about word problems, you always want to identify what we know, what we need, and how to get it. What do we know? What do we need? How to. So, the word problem. The number of times a cricket chirps per minute depends on the temperature. At a temperature of 40 degrees, there were 0 chirps. At a temperature of 93 degrees, there were 240 chirps. Write an equation to represent this information. So first of all, what do we know? We know we have 2 sets of data. At 40 degrees, we had 0 chirps. At 93 degrees, we had 240 chirps. Now, through this chapter, does any of these represent a slope or a rate of change or anything like that? No. But what we do have, we have 2 sets of data. We have a dependent variable and an independent variable. When x is 40, we have 0 chirps. When x is 93, we have 240 chirps. So if we want to come up with a formula, we do know, what do we know? We have 2 points. That's it. What do we need? We need to find the slope. And how do we do that? We can use a point-slope formula. And we use the slope formula. So slope, again the y values. 240 minus 0 over 93 minus 40. Here we have 240. 93 minus 40 is 53. So when we divide that out, we will get, I should get this ready. $240 divided by 53. We get 4.5. Call it 4.5. So our slope is about 4.5. So we can use either set of points. Now again, I'm going to use what's easy. I like when there's zeros there. It makes it really easy. So I'm going to write this as y minus 0 equals our slope of 4.5, x minus 40. So, y minus 0, that's just y. We have 4.5x, and 4.5 times a negative 40, let's see, 180. There's our equation. So that's how we can come up with our equation. I was able to identify 2 points. So that's something we need to get used to identifying. All right, 2 more problems. So parallel lines. How do we know the parallel lines are parallel? Remember back to geometry, 2 lines are parallel if their slopes are the same. If their slopes are the same. They'll go up at the same rate. They will never cross. They are parallel. So, problem A here says, write the equation of a line that is parallel to y equals 2/3 x plus 7 passing through the point 12, negative 3. So, if it's parallel to this line, what do we know the slope has to be? It is 2/3. It's right there. And it's passing through this point. So we go back to our point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals x minus x1. Our y value is negative 3. Our x value is 12. And our slope is 2/3. Y minus negative 3 is plus. So it becomes y plus 3 equals 2/3 parenthesis x minus 12. That's its point slope. Now, we want to change it to slope intercept. Again, distribute 2/3 x minus 8. 2/3 times negative 12 is negative 8. Add your opposites. And here's our equation. Y equals 2/3 x minus 11. So, same slopes, different y-intercepts. This one's going through 7, this one's going through negative 7. So again, we still know the slope automatically if they tell us that their slopes are parallel. Now, what if they're perpendicular? And what perpendicular means is if the lines cross, they will meet at a 90-degree angle. Like right here, this board. This board is these 2 lines are perpendicular. They cross at a 90-degree angle. So if 2 lines are perpendicular, write this word down. It's a fun word to say, perpendicular. Perpendicular. Okay? It means their slopes are negative reciprocals to one another. So, if one slope is 7/5, the other one is negative 5/7. We flip the numbers and make one negative. If one slope is negative 4, the reciprocal is positive 1/4. Because remember, negative 4 would be negative 4/1. So again, we flip the fraction and change the sign. So if we have something, we want to find the equation of a line as perpendicular to y equals 4/3 x minus 5, passing through the point negative 8, negative 1. So what do we know? We know the slope has to be perpendicular. Perpendicular to 4/3 is negative 3/4. Use our point slope formula. y minus y1 equals parenthesis x minus x1. Our x1 value was negative 8. Our y1 was negative 1. Our slope is negative 3/4. A lot of negatives here. Clean up the negatives. Minus the negatives, this will be y plus 1. This stays in negative 3/4. This becomes x plus 8. Again, we distribute. Keep the y plus 1 here. Becomes negative 3/4 x. Negative 3/4 times 8 is negative 6, I believe. Add opposites, and we have our equation. Y equals negative 3/4 x minus 7. That concludes it. There's a lot in this section. Take your time, work out the problems, think about what equation you want to use. Think about what we have, think about what we need, think, can we manipulate something to get what we need? Like if we're given 2 points, we can definitely find slope. All right. Good luck.